Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working with files, and I just went ahead and jumped into Visual Studio and opened a files.py file, so a new project, new Python project, same old things that we've been doing. Created a new project and called it py and got the, or excuse me, files, and we got the files.py with it. So I'm going to just jump in because files is actually made really easy with Python. As most things, they try to simplify everything. What you're going to do here is start off with this statement. You're going to do a with open as, and then I'm going to say and maybe I'll put something in here. Like call this file name. So again, these carets are the less than greater than symbol are just to denote pseudocode. So what you would do, in fact, maybe I'll just put a little hash or pound sign there, where you take this format to get it to open the file name. So what does it do? Well, with, is kind of like the import feature, where you're just looking out of this file to grab another file. Then the next word you're going to see is open. Well, guess what that's going to do? That's going to open your file name. Or excuse me, just open a file. And that file is going to be denoted in a text, in terms of text. So I'm going to put in input.txt there, and that will give me the file name that I wish to open. Now, all programming languages and scripting languages, I probably shouldn't say all, but most really don't want that name. It has special characters in it. It might have backslashes in there because, we might be going to a specific directory, etc., etc. They always want to give it some type of nickname, and I don't know if this is the official word, but I'm going to call it a nickname here. So we want to refer to it inside the program as a specific variable name which relates to the file, and we can actually change that as any variable, but for now just think of it in terms of a nickname that we're giving input.text. So we could call it something like our file, and then you see the colon afterwards, and all of you are probably now to the point where if you see a colon, you probably know that something is left unsaid at this point. And in fact, you usually give a nice little good indent right every time you put in a colon. So what are we going to do? Normally we just want to grab stuff from that file. So we open it up, and then we just say, I'll call it all stuff. I think the book uses two different ones, maybe a little bit more official, but all stuff sounds good to me. And then I'm going to do our file dot read, and let's give this a quick run. So it's going to read everything in that file, because remember, our file is relating to this nickname, which we're giving the nickname for that file name. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to put it into this variable called all stuff, which is essentially a really large string. So let's go ahead and do that just to make sure it runs. Oh yeah, that's a very important thing. There's something that's not there, the input.text. In fact, I was going to make that, but let's go ahead and do that now. So we have something called files.py. Now, naturally, where it's going to look is where? In the same folder that it exists. So go down and drill down into till you find the files.py in your Visual Studio folders, and put an input file there. So let's go ahead and do a new text document, and we're going to call it exactly like it's up here, input.text. And let's double click into it because it's empty. So let's give it some contents. And I'm going to put 2 lines in here so we get a little better idea on how this is going to drag all this stuff in. So something like, hi, I am your file. Sure. My name is input. Put some proper punctuation there as well. And oops, and let's stop that guy for the meantime. And go ahead and save it. Do a Control S and I'd exit out of it. I'm not a big fan of leaving things open when other things are trying to open it because there can be issues there. So let's go ahead and close it. Now we should run and see. Notice it gives us the press key, any key to continue, which means that it has found the file. But that's not good enough because it doesn't do anything. So let's add another line to it and we'll just print all stuff. So go ahead and hit attach and it says, hi, I am your file. My name is input. Good. So what did it do by doing this read? Well, it grabbed literally everything in the file. So if you want to grab everything at once, use that .read. Now what happens if you want to read more than one line? Well, we're going to do read lines. But why I need more than one line is that I want to break this up into multiple lines. So if, in fact, let me rerun this and play just so you can see the difference. I'm going to take a screenshot of that using the snipping tool. I guess I could have just done a print screen, but all right. So I got that, and I'm going to get rid of this, and now I'm going to type in read lines. And as you can see, there's a slight difference. It did read both of these guys in. My name is input, but you'll see the \n, which is the symbol for carriage return, or what I call carriage return. That's the old typewriting form. The enter key, some people would say. And you'll also see a comma followed by the square brackets. Now, if you think about it, what is inside square brackets that we've used before? Lists, right? So really what this has done is taken those 2 lines and put them inside a variable as 2 separate variables, just like in a list. And we can grab those accordingly. So let's try that. Actually, should we save this? I'm going to keep that just in case. So if I were to say print all stuff, (0), oops, let me hit that off and turn it back on. It goes back to looking a little bit more like the original one, where it just says, hi, I am your file. If I wanted to get that second line, I'd put 1 there. So it starts at 0, goes to 1, goes ahead and says, my name is input, reading the second line off that file. So it depends on what you want to do with it. But this now gives us the option of breaking these up into different pieces. Now the book will go in and talk about using these things called strip and rstrip. We've touched on those before. Those are kind of nice in that they can kind of trim away all like the spaces and things of that nature. But well, I think what we'll do is we'll end this video here, and then we'll come back and kind of manipulate these a little bit more.